Hello, welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz, and it's time to see what's in my tumbler. So I finally got my new shiny double barrel Lortone 33B tumbler, so it's time to get stuff rolling again. We're going to start out. This is one of the tumblers I had before. In my last video, these are the rocks I put into storage. These are all stage 1. So you can see that keeping them in this tub with the lid on it, the water stayed covering them. They were totally fine to be in there for a couple of weeks. So these are the rocks that I'm going back in. Some of these don't need too much longer in stage 1. Some of them might need a little bit more. We'll see. And so these are all just going into stage 1. As you can see, there's not a whole lot here that's left in stage 1. So I think that's only maybe a third full. I need to definitely put some more rocks in there. So I am going to, I finally sorted through the box or the bag of mixed rocks I got from the rock shed. And so these are some of those rocks. I don't know what these are. I didn't even attempt to ID them. I'm just sure that they are not, I don't know, they might be softer than these 7s 8s. They might be 7s 8s and 6s. I don't know what they are. I'm just putting them in here so I can fill them out. If I'm going to keep an eye on them, if I feel like some of them are wearing away too much, then I'll pull them out, put in with some softer rocks later. But since I don't know what they are, I'm just putting them in here. So there's my full tumbler, and then now we are putting in my stage 1 grit. So this is going to be 6 tablespoons because this is a 3-pound barrel. And then I'll get these labeled and ready to go. And by the way, getting this second tumbler has been already so good. The two Lortone tumblers together are quieter than my 1-pound barrel, the National Geographic Hobby Tumbler, by itself. So absolutely no regrets getting a second tumbler. Now I have 4 barrels that I have on 2 tumblers. So now we're going into the second barrel. This is going to be stage 2. So these are the stage 2 rocks I pulled out. These didn't end up getting covered, but they're still fine. They were still underwater. So you just want to make sure that if you've had grit on them, that they're underwater and not drying out. So this is going to be stage 2, and then going into 3 and 4. I'm putting in my dumortierite, the big chunk of dumortierite I have. I'm also putting in that geode that I have, all of these little rocks. And this will actually end up filling up more or less this tumbler. So there's a lot of stuff in here. That's a tiger's eye. There's some amethyst. There's some agates. I think it's mostly agates, but then it also has the dumortierite, and it also has that geode. So we'll see how these turn out. I think they're going to be all right. So putting in some water. There's a lot of little chips in this. That's what I'm trying to get off my fingers. They stick to my fingers. And I'm tumbling them because they look really good when you put them on like potted plants and stuff. So that's why I have these little chips for. So anyway, stage 2 grit. This needs to be 6 tablespoons. That's 3. That's about 4-ish. And then I ran out. So now I have more. So that's me dumping in another bag of it because I went through stage 2 a lot faster than I thought I would. So I'm putting in another 2 tablespoons to round that out, so that's 6. And then these are going to tumble for a week with the stage 1 rocks, and that refills the 2 tumblers I already had. Now some of you might be going, where's your amber? I'm putting the amber to side. I can't deal with that right now. I tried using a grinder to grind that stuff off the outside of it. It didn't budge. I didn't even scratch it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm giving up on the tumbler for now, on the amber for now. I'll come back to it at some point. I just need to move on for a little bit. So I'm labeling this everything because there is a little bit of everything in here. And this is stage 2. All right. So now I have my 2 new barrels to fill up. This is the third, or whatever. It's new barrel. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. All right. So what am I putting in here? I am going to start my Flourite that I have had forever and a day and have not done anything with yet. So I've never tumbled Flourite. It is a softer rock. I think it's about a 4. Harder than the shungite I did, but still not, maybe it's a 3. I don't know. It's pretty soft. So I have instructions on how to tumble this and get a shine with a rotary tumbler. Well, yeah, with the rotary tumbler. A lot of people don't like to do softer rocks in a rotary tumbler because they don't get super high glossy shiny. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm not getting a vibratory tumbler, and so this is what I have, and I love Flourite. It's really pretty. So we're going to do it in a rotary tumbler. I have instructions on how to do it. So that starts with starting at stage 2. So this is not going to have any stage 1 grit touching it at all. So I'm going to do stage 2. You only do stage 2 for a maximum of 2 days. Now, unfortunately for you guys, that 2 days is actually going to be the day that this video is going out. So I'm not going to be able to film that for this video, but it will be the 2-day checkup will be in the next video, as well as probably the next check after that, because you go from stage 2 to stage 3 and 4, and then you do a dry polish. So this will be my first time doing a dry polish, which I think is kind of exciting. I like doing new stuff that I've not done before. So this Flourite is going into stage 2 for 2 days, not even 2 days, just under 2 days. So we'll see how that goes. But you don't want to tumble Flourite for very long because it is very soft, just like the shungite that I did previously. All right, so now my last tumbler. This is going to be Sodalite. I've had some Sodalite for a long time. Like, before I started this channel, I've had this 1-pound bag of Sodalite, and I love Sodalite. It's really pretty. It's blue and white, and I really like it. But I've had it and I haven't tumbled it. So in addition to this giant bag of Sodalite, I also have some other loose Sodalite I've gotten from various places. I'm about to put to the side a piece of broken quartz that I don't know why it was in this box. That green stuff is some Amazonite and some aventurine. There's no D in that word. And then this is the other Sodalite that I just have a giant bag of. So it doesn't all fit, which is fine. So I'm just going to take a couple of those rocks out. They'll get added back in as there's room for them. And then this is going to get stage 1. Again, Sodalite's not a hard rock. It's a 5, which is harder than the Flourite, but not by a whole lot. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm putting it in stage 1. But I'm also going to check on it when I check on the Flourite and just make sure it's not getting ground away too much. So just to make sure, right, that it's not being ground down too much, because it is a softer rock. I don't want these to, wither away to nothing. I do want to have some nice, gorgeous rocks at the end of it, but, they are softer, so I might tumble them for a week. I might pull them after a day and then go into stage 2. I have no idea. So this is Sodalite, but also with Amazonite and aventurine, and I realized I put et al, and that looked like an exclamation point instead of an L, so I fixed that, and then these are going into stage 1. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back with another episode of What's in My Tumbler next week.